There are those moments when thoughts come up that we can't cope with. They almost send a tremble, shudder through the body as we try and block them out. Mostly something we've recalled from the day, a difficult moment in some encounter. Or else our mind is just wandering all over the place when we want it in hand to do something, when our mind seems to have a mind of its own. What to do? Well, everybody suffers from these things, and it's all for the same reason. And if we can understand how the mind works, and it's not complicated, we can gain control of those unwanted moments of unwanted thoughts. The central part of the mind is the I thought, the me. That's the first thought. And every other thought is connected to that thought and expands outwards from that thought. And each thought can generate another generation of thoughts. And we can end up in confusion or despair or totally waste our time with distraction, depending on the thoughts and where they're going. If we can bring our attention back to that primary thought, which is me, the central thing, and hold your attention there, those other thoughts die away. It's only when the primary thought of you starts to spread out into other thoughts, gives birth to other thoughts, do you have a problem? And you do have problems which need thinking about, and you can't ignore them, but just dwelling upon them or letting them assault you doesn't help you at all. Just creates distress or wastes your time. So you can devote time to thinking things out in a clear manner. But first, you need to gain control of your thoughts. And that's done by gaining control of your primary thought, of returning your attention to your primary thought and not letting it run out to all those other thoughts. Once you cut off all those other thoughts, you can start to think clearly about how to resolve a situation, if that's what's needed, or how to go forward with a project. If you can work when you need to work, play when you need to play, you have much more control. If you're busy on a project, you just keep your attention on it and not let it run out to other things. It requires a bit of discipline, but the clarity it gives you saves so much time and produces such a better result. If when it's time to play, you play, and you can relax completely. You don't let your mind run out to all your problems. And so you can live your life in an organized fashion. So you're in charge instead of your thoughts being in charge of you. It's quite simple. It just needs a little bit of practice. But once you're in charge of it, once you're in control of your thoughts, so much is possible. And you don't become subject to everybody else's thoughts when they threaten your primary thought of you. Because that's how they do it. They hijack your primary thought, which is me, and send it off in directions which suit them. Make you fear, make you desire, make you do all sorts of things that benefit them and not you. people who have control of where their thought goes, where their attention goes, are the most powerful, influential people there are. And even if you don't wish to become influential in the world, you can at least become influential in your own life. And that's probably as much as you need to do to live a happy, contented, peaceful life. So to just go through that briefly again, your first thought is of yourself. It's you, your identity. And from that, all sorts of thoughts spread out, and your attention goes with them into fear, into desire, into everything. But if you can control where they go, what thoughts you have, your life isn't threatened, and it improves greatly. You could, once you have really gained control of your mind and stilled it, with that inner contentment, your attention starts to rise into consciousness, into the world of enlightenment. That's a great bonus. But in the meantime, you can gain control of what you're experiencing in your mind if you keep your attention on the primary thought, which is you, and choose the secondary thoughts as you need them, without the mind running wild, without the attention running down all sorts of avenues of thought. Bring your attention back to you, and those other things will stop. And life will become in your control, and peaceful, and productive. Practice makes perfect.